I don't suppose I'm going to say anything that people haven't exactly heard before, because at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. But there are a few things, and I'm going to use examples of what I've used in my firm, and things I've come across, with the main theme being how to survive in a recession, with also the fact there is inflation in the background as well. Okay, so I think the first thing I'd say is to make sure you stay active. And what do I mean by that? I suppose I mean be seen, be out there, communicate with your colleagues if you have them, obviously suppliers, customers, all of that area. Make sure that people know you are still in business and available for business. You are selling, for want of a better word. And in my business, that has, I mean, we always pride ourselves on customer service, and that's one of the big things. But one newish area that has happened over the last couple of years, and I see it perhaps becoming more of an issue as well. Communication with clients has led to, well, I've used that kind of the mental health idea of saying, how is your business? And then people say, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. But how is your business? You know, you ask for the second time. And then they might say, oh, well, XYZ is not quite working out. Okay. And then quite often we've got into a conversation about, which has led down the road to our fees at the end of the day. And so we've adopted a policy of moving a lot more people onto a standing order basis, rather than having the traditional quarterly fees. We do bill, generally speaking, quarterly, but within that quarter, there would usually be one bigger fee than all the others. So because that'd be the annual bill for their accounts and tax, perhaps. So moving towards a standing order, yes, giving people benefits, plenty of cash flow, etc. So that's just the thing that's come out of a conversation, keeping clients on side, really. And all part of my mantra of staying active. Second theme is technology and investing in technology. And that, as we move forward increasingly, I mean, this is a prime example of it, isn't it? Having meetings like this in this kind of forum, and doing work like this, that can open up a completely different market, can't you? There's no real reason why, why in the current era you can't be trading with people elsewhere in the UK that would never have traded with. In theory, there's Europe and the world, but there are plenty of other barriers there to that. But certainly for service industries, there's no real reason why all your customers have got to be within 5 miles of Norwich, do they, nowadays? And technology helps with that. And for us as a firm, the big investments we made, I'm not going to say we saw it coming because it was already in a plan, but we did invest quite heavily in IT to enable people to be able to work from home pretty seamlessly. And that happened March, April 2020, which is great timing, really, because had it not happened then, we'd have been struggling. That spring of 2020, we would definitely have been struggling, because of the model of being in your office 9 to 5 on your computer suddenly wasn't an option. So making that investment, allied, was obviously a boom for us, and everybody should be looking for that. I think it's the way business is going. You have to be adaptable to it. There is a lot of tax relief available for that sort of investment nowadays as well. It's a bit of a win-win. That brings me on to cash management, stock management. Not all of my clients, not nearly all of my clients have got stock issues, but those that do, it's usually a big issue. And so in the current market and where the economy is going, you need to be all over that. You need to know exactly what your stock holding period is. I think you need to know what items within your stock are selling and what are not, and therefore that starts to generate your whole cash flow cycle, from which money at the end of the day and cash is king. So you need to stay on top of that. And then cash flow generally, the difference between cash and profits. And most of my clients actually are not too bad at this, because they tend, I would say, if they lack accountancy knowledge, that's no big deal. I suppose that's the reasons why they'd use me. But they do have a good handle on how cash works, and so in a recessionary economy, I think that's important. It's important to know how much cash you've got right now, but how much cash are you going to have in 2 or 3 months' time? So that then the forecasting, I'd call that an essential tool. I mean, we do that. We've got a cash flow forecast which I use that 10 times more often than I use our profit and loss account. So our records are held on Xero, good piece of software. Yeah, there's profit and loss accounts there to look at. To be honest, I might glance at them every now and again, but I'm always looking at the cash flow forecast, right? What's coming in the next 90 days? Okay, right, yeah, right, if that's the case, and then we need X amount of work has got to be done this month so that it gets out, so that it gets billed, so that it gives the customers 30, 40 days to pay. Therefore, that's, all of that cash flow management is king. That's what I spend a lot of my time on my business doing. And I would advise everybody to do that, really. And then, yeah, communication, back to staying active and communicating with suppliers and customers, keys for it, really. Because from that, other things can develop. You can see perhaps there's a little extra niche, a different niche you can move into, and that's a good thing to have, because if you can diversify your product range, your service at all, if you're selling more than just one thing, that's great. You want to be in that sort of position if you can. So those are the main sort of nuggets. Has anybody got any comments you want to make? Yeah, we need to be nimble, active, out there, and in control. We need to be on top of things that we can control, which are our cash flow and our clients' expectations. That would be our customers' expectations. That'd be my key summaries for today.
Yeah.